Our goal is that, everybody's able to take just a couple of gold nuggets, of little things, little tweaks that may be the difference between, you getting back out there the next weekend with your client versus winning that house and going under contract. And that's, sometimes it's just those little tweaks that make the difference.
Absolutely. And whether you're a new agent or an experienced agent, you've been doing it for 30 years, we're pretty confident that you'll hear at least one thing today that you haven't incorporated and you can incorporate into a multiple offer bidding war situation. So step number one, whenever we are in a market like this that's hot, first and foremost, you absolutely have to advise your clients. As real estate professionals, we should all be advising our clients on, what type of market we're in, what we're looking at. Is it going to be, multiple offer situation, what the current market trends are and whatnot. And so really diving into that and going over that with your client before you even get out there and start shopping for homes is 100% the first and foremost thing that you absolutely have to do. It's the psychology behind preparing your buyer for this situation. And if they're unprepared, you might show them and lose out on 3, 4, or 5 homes before you actually are able to get them where they need to be mentally.
Yeah. As the goal in many cases is not to show your clients 100 homes and offer on all 100 and finally get the 101st. You want them to find the house that they fall in love with. But in this such low inventory situation, they're probably going to have multiple homes that they might be willing to buy. But you need to, first and foremost, start out, like Josh said, by advising your clients, letting them know things. Hey, if we're going to see, if you're going to fall in love with this home, there's chances are there's 9 or 10 other people who also are going to feel similarly about it. We're at about 8,000 active listings on the market. Historically, crazy low numbers. When you back out, some of those properties that are in far-lying regions, the numbers are even lower. And so, if they don't know about it already, you want to start and say, look, guys, depending on your price point, this is what we're going to be dealing with. If it's a brand new house and it's very clean, move-in ready, know that we very well may be in a multiple offer situation. Is kind of goes without saying, but you got to have that pre-qual dialed in. I mean, your pre-qualification letter, they want to be as far down the process with the loan as possible. The more pre-qualified, the better. If they say, oh, I still have to talk with a lender, you may want to consider waiting until that paperwork is done and signed and ready to go before you even show them a house, because you're just spinning your wheels.
And like Morgan said, the more pre-qualified they are, if they've already submitted their W-2s and bank statements and have had that conversation, the lender's pulled their credit, and the lender can really put together a detailed pre-qual form. And if it's between your offer and another person's offer, and maybe they just had a conversation with the lender and didn't get into the details too much, your offer is going to appear more, or your client's going to appear stronger than the other offer where maybe they just had that conversation for a couple minutes. But so definitely you've got to get them pre-qualified. You've got to stress how important it is to have them pre-qualified going into it. I mean, we get all of our clients pre-qualified, whether it's a hot market or not, but especially in this market, there's no time to waste. And
there's no time to waste. You want a good team behind you, and I know everyone has relationships with your lenders. Now is the time to really strengthen that relationship with the lender. If it's someone you haven't worked before, you need to have a conversation with them about your client, about their qualifications, and about some expectations that you're going to have from the lender, because the lender is going to be an integral part of getting your offer accepted. And we'll touch on that a little bit more too, but they're in the game early on in this market.
Yeah, and once again, I know we kind of touched on it, but you absolutely have to let your client know how hot the market is, that they don't have time to stew on it for a day or two and decide whether or not they want to make an offer on it. I mean, right now, just they have to know that if they see the property, they love the property, they have to jump on it. Otherwise, they're going to lose it to somebody else. Interest rates are crazy low right now. We don't foresee them going any lower. And if they do, it's going to just be by, you're going to be splitting hairs. That's something else that you guys share with your client too, that if they are thinking about offering, now's a great time. Don't wait a couple months. Some people have said, oh, well, maybe I should wait a few months, let the market cool down a little bit, and then I'll offer. Well, interest rates could go up at that point in time.
Interest rates could go up, and with what's happening right now, prices almost certainly will go up. They've been moving up and continue so. If they're ready, willing, and able, there's no time like the present for them to go. Just one last thing before we leave this is when you are having the conversation with your buyer and you're prepping them for all of this, you also have to prep them, not to get too emotionally attached to the house because of the situation. You want them to be invested, but not heartbroken. You don't want them to lose faith after maybe the second time you've done this to where they just want to give up completely. That conversation where you're setting the stage and, your hopeful optimism, but you're not over exuberance. Oh, we've got it. We're surely in there. You want to try to keep them battle after battle, ready to win the war and get the house in the end, but not lose them as casualties along the way, because clients will get discouraged after the first house, second house. I mean, it's an emotional roller coaster. And yes, we are all psychologists when we're real estate agents.
Absolutely.